KBLA Talk 1580 hosts, we never quite know where the conversation is going to go. But sometimes our guests really surprise us.
Let me just close with saying I downloaded your app while we were talking. It's a terrific app. I look forward to it. I'm enjoying your format and what have you. I will tweet it to my several 100,000 followers and call their attention to it as well.
If the KBLA 1580 app is enticing enough for our guests to download and share, you should download the app and share with your friends too.
That's beautiful.
What you say? So, download the KBLA 1580 app today and take us with you wherever you go. KBLA Talk 1580.
You are now rocking with the best.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I need a dollar, what I need. Well, I need
Hour 3 of this 3-hour thrill ride. Man, today is just like, wow. Starting on Monday on fire. Daniel Griffin hanging out with us all this week. Don Amiche for everybody with Kristen Yang this week.
Very empowering show.
Yeah, I mean,
today. Really cool.
I love the our guest hosts who come in. There's just such a wealth in that knowledge. Shay Dixon was in last week. She ran for mayor of Inglewood. You know, you a big entrepreneur and just a community-oriented individual from Los Angeles who I love, and just a wealth of knowledge. You know, we're talking about tipping, and you know, some of our community gets a bad name on tipping, but you know, you're right. Character. We're talking about your character at the end of the day, regardless of whether your service is good or bad. And I do. Like I said, I have a sliding scale, 15. No lower than 15% is what I do, but for me the standard is 20. I even saw, I think I saw back in the day when Joan Rivers was alive, she was like, I tip 30%.
Wow,
30%, and I'm like, you know, for some who has it, you know, what I'm saying 30% is like what it, you know, a minimum for her, but 20% has always been a minimum. I have the school of thought when it comes to tipping is that if I cannot go out and afford to pay for the dinner and everything that comes along with it, then I should not be going out. That's the rule of thumb. And tipping, or I should say gratuity, is included in that whole situation. And I think we also need to do a better job of teaching our younger people at a very younger age that lesson of, like, if you're going out to a restaurant, whether it be Applebee's or Mastro's or wherever it at, and somebody is providing service to you, and that's the culture in this country, at least. Some countries don't have tipping, but that's the culture in here, that if you cannot afford the gratuity along with the meal, because there's a server doing the job, and I think there's a lack of education on some people that the business is paying. Why do I gotta pay you when the business is paying you?
Yeah, you know, can I tell you that I had a very close friend, unfortunately she's passed, and a young black lady. And she would tell me when we would go out to eat, why are you tipping? That's their job. When she would get her hair done, don't tip. And she used to yell at me because we go out to eat often because we work together. And I'd say, oh, you know what? I left something. Let me go back to table. And she's like, I know you did. You're going to leave that tip. And I said, yes, because you just don't not leave a tip. You know what I mean? And we used to get in fights about that. But there are some people that have that philosophy of all races. I mean, I've met all different races where they say, well, that's their job. Why am I going to leave a tip for this? Why am I going to leave a tip for that? But I wanted to ask you guys this, like how I raised my daughter. It might sound weird, but like if we have a black waitress, we over tip. A black waiter or waitress. If a black hostess is going to sit me down, we give them a $5 bill. Here you go for sitting us down. I like to do that. And I hate to say this. I mean, I don't do that to anybody else other than black people, because I really believe that's my people, and I want to support them in everything they do, because I don't know if they're getting tipped properly.
Well, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I would say do it across the board.
No, I just do it. Well, I'm sorry.
But now you're segmenting the individuals who are doing the same job. And I understand why. I get it. But we don't need to look at black people as impoverished and disenfranchised. We are to a certain extent, but that's what you're doing to a certain extent.
No, these are young people when you go to restaurants. You see, I mean, I was a hostess.
Yeah.
And I was a hostess, and I'll never forget when this one man gave me $100 bill. And I always said to myself, and he there was, you know, some niceness about it, some not niceness. It was like, go get your hair fixed. Here's a $100 bill. But you know what? I mean, he gave me a $100 bill. He was was this one guy who came in all the time, and I always said, I know how hard that job was. I never got tipped out by the waiters or waitresses. I think it might have changed, but every time I go, if I see a black waiter or a black hostess or host, I give them a $5 bill when they seat me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Since we're talking about tipping here, and maybe you can give us permission to or not to tip here, because you're in the industry. You know what it's like. Are there times where I should not tip? And I'm gonna give you an example of what a time, because they put these machines in everywhere now where they're all visual. You used to have the old school cash register and the what you call it, but now they got the little machines with the screens where you can tap to pay or whatever, and the little box pops up that says, "Do you want to leave a tip?" Okay. Now, I feel there's a level of guilt inside of me of like, what am I leaving a tip for? And there's a liquor store I would go to, and I would pick up maybe a soda or buy some cigarettes or something like that, and it says, "Do you want to leave a tip?" And I'm like, well, what am I tipping for? Can we give permission to not tip in that sentence?
Well, this is the thing, and they had a big news thing the other day. I don't know if it was GMA or one of the stations.
Yeah.
About this very topic, because it seems like everybody's asking for
tip
now. Even online.
Really?
I mean, do you want this? Do you want that? I mean, for takeout, it's just a lot of different things.
Even on the Uber restaurants, would you like to give money to the restaurant just because? I'm like, what?
So we need to educate ourselves, right, and understand when it's appropriate to tip, but at the same time, it's discretionary, right?
It is discretionary,
right.
Yes.
So what I do is, if I go to Cheesecake Factory anywhere and I pick up some dessert or something to go, I still leave something because of the man I am.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I don't base my stuff based off reports or Google or, today, off what we're discussing.
Technically, someone's still fixing your food and they're bringing it up, so there is somewhat of a service.
Yes, but we're talking about some of these other platforms that are asking for tips right now, and I do my own research, and wherever my heart is, I'm not.
So,
right?
let's say I'm picking up the food. Somebody's still preparing it, and ask you to leave a tip. Mm-hmm. What are you doing 20%? Are you doing 15%? Are you doing 10%? Or you just...
Well, let's see. When we talk, we got to talk numbers, because some people are based off numbers, right? Because normally numbers don't lie, people do. That's my basis, right?
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if I'm doing a takeout, and obviously I haven't been served, there's no service involved, right?
Yeah.
But it's still preparation involved, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna take that in accountability. So I'm not doing my typical 18 to 20 for takeout. I'm gonna do 8 to 10. I'm gonna do 8 to 10.
That's fair.
Right?
Okay. I don't mind that. Right? Okay, so maybe adjust the tip towards what the service or what the transaction is.
Once again, let's talk about rapport. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk about rapport. I have a place I go to a lot, right? And I know the owners. And I don't see the owners there a lot. And they have a couple of restaurants. One of them I see them more than the other one. And they always say, "Hey, you still going to the other restaurant? There's more takeout." Whenever I go, I've already acknowledged the ownership and myself have a friendship. We have a rapport. He's been in there. He talked to me. Employees see that. They see me come in there regularly. Yeah. They start calling me by my name. They treat me well. My bag comes out. You're going to get a little favor, right? Yeah. And then I'm going to walk out of there and not leave anything.
Right.
Let me tell you something.
I agree with you.
I went to a restaurant to pick up some food one time, and the woman at the register made me feel so good that I left her a 20% tip. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, she's earning this tip right now. But she was so cordial, nice, friendly, made me feel good, and it made me want to leave her a tip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I left her a 20% tip, and I can tell you that's only happened to me one time when I've ever picked up food to go, and I'm like, wow.
But now you know why Chick-fil-A has that model, that customer service. So imagine, that's what I talked about earlier, reciprocation, Don. Talked about reciprocation.
Yeah.
We talked about, regardless, if you're the man that you are, and that person doesn't change at that very moment, if you're consistently going there and consistent, that person is going to buy into that, and then you're gonna have a relationship, a good one, right?
But, customer service. You talk about this when I was coming up in the '90s and working in retail. It was always quality customer service was the main attention that it was stressed upon working in retail restaurants. I feel like they don't care anymore when it
don't.
comes to business. Like I feel, and I don't know. I'm not saying small business, but corporations, that the focus is less on customer service. I'll give you an example, like going into Best Buy and trying to find some information on some tech or whatever. I couldn't tell you how many times I went into Best Buy, and it's a crapshoot. Maybe 2/3 of the
I know.
2/3 of the time they don't know anything about it. They just know how to ring you up. And then
Home Depot, right?
Home Depot, right?
Wow.
And then 1/3 of the time you get somebody who's very knowledgeable who says, you know what are you looking for? Like if you want to buy some headphones and you want bass, you want clarity, what do you want? And they can really help me out and make me have an informed decision. When I was growing up, I took it upon myself to learn about every aspect of what I was selling to give an informed decision to help people out when it came to making a purchase. But there seems to be that they're just hiring people just to fill a role of sales or
They
getting
just want
inventory.
bodies. It seems like bodies to sell, like
Can
you
I tell you how
said.
to combat that?
Yeah.
Okay. I go to Best Buy for certain things,
Yeah.
but I get all of my TVs from, I don't mind saying this, Video Audio Center. Okay. I know the owner for over 20 years. Great man. And whenever I go into all his locations, they know I know him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I let it be known. Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm about to spend a significant amount of money on a major purchase.
Because you already know it's probably going to be a little bit more.
Yes.
This is probably a little more high end place, right?
Yes.
Right. And then on top of that, audio video, you're going there not because of the price. You're going there because of the expertise, and knowledge, and the service. Because that's what they specialize in, audio video.
But and they're not going to know your name all the time because it's not a restaurant.
Yeah.
I don't go in there that frequently, right? But when I go, I get personalized attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's your choice, Don, to go to Best Buy.
Right.
Right?
Right. It is.
Now, they don't have intimate hardware stores like that as much as they used to.
Yeah.
You have Ace here and there. You have little places like that, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? You do have management. I go to a particular Lowe's. I know both GMs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the assistant GM.
Oh.
Right? But not only do I know the GMs, because they're not there all the time, but I know the people in each department that I frequent. And they say, hey, Danny, how you doing?
Yeah.
So, same premise. That's why I said, move a certain way.
It's a lot of work as a customer here.
No,
We-
but
I
it
know.
works to your
But a lot of
benefit.
complaining, too.
It works to your
Too
benefit.
much complaining, too,
Yeah.
though, Don. We can't, everywhere we go, we're not going to have it the way we want. And life is too short to go somewhere with a negative aspect or always wanting something your way. If you want something your way, you need to do it a certain way.
You know, the biggest thing
I agree with
How
you
about
there.
that?
Yeah.
Let's go.
The biggest thing I've learned from this conversation today is basically network and get to know the people that you're around. I watched a TED Talk years ago, and it's the most important thing that rings true. And I try to practice it, but I fail a lot. But the guy was basically said, you want to change your life, start talking to the people around you, because you never know how many people you pass by. And I gave this analogy of like, how many times do we go into a grocery store and we're surrounded by a massive amount of people and nobody's talking to each other. And yet, somebody in that grocery store that you're coming across, you're in 5 seconds, 5 feet away from, could change your life.
Yes.
And it's like, I remember I met a woman like that one time. I just looked up as I'm watching this TED Talk, started talking to her, and we kind of developed this relationship. You know what I'm saying? And so it's very interesting. And I think it reinforces what you're saying here today, is that if you want better results, start talking to people. And I try to be gratuitous to a lot of people and nice and just, pleasant. And I try to walk around with a smile on my face and say hi. Some people, they just look at you weird when you start talking to them.
But in defense of employees, especially seasonal employees, a lot of people at a lot of big department stores and places during the season throw employees out there.
Yeah.
So you're just standing there,
Yeah.
not really versed on that department or particular thing. And then here comes a person that knows what they want and they want it right now. And now we have this negative energy, and things don't get done. Now you're writing a negative comment, or you're going on Yelp, and you're going home displeased. Let's have some compassion for the seasonal workers and
definitely.
people that are thrown in the fire.
But
Definitely.
Come on now.
I always
agree.
had the idea, if I don't know, let me go find out for you. Let me go find someone. Sometimes you run on roadblocks where they just don't like.
But some of them don't know their supervisors. Some of the supervisors won't even speak to them.
I went to Best Buy one time, and this girl's doing her homework, and I'm just sitting there waiting to check out. I'm like, all right, how can I help you, sir? I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. And I listen, and I try, and it's with younger people. I do want to say that it's with younger people, and I try not to knock them too much, because I get it. This job's probably not paying you a lot. You're probably more focused on school.
See, focus on school, but let's not get in people's pocket because then people gonna get in our pockets.
No, you
Yeah.
do that.
Let's keep money out of it because then we're gonna start stereotyping and stagnating people.
You're right.
Yeah,
But I always look at it if you got
the student thing is good because being a student is good. That's why they go exempt on their taxes.
Yes, I look at it as like whatever job you're doing, no matter where you're at, and how
Be
much
good
you're
at it,
paying you,
right?
be good, be absolutely good at it, and don't shortchange it and secondhand it because it's like it's just you once again it's character. You know what I'm saying? So whether you're selling $2 widgets and you're making $3 an hour, it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? Be the best widget seller you could possibly be.
But now we're the old man in the club.
Yes, we are.
But see, there we go. Because a lot of people today, you don't have Big Mama, or your Big Mama has evolved.
No.
And she may be doing things that your other Big Mama didn't do. Right?
She ain't walking around sliding with her slippers in the house.
Exactly, right? So our young people, we love them, right?
Yeah.
Let's embrace them, right?
Oh, definitely.
Let's not stagnate them. Let's not stereotype them, right?
Yeah.
Let's give them a chance.
Yeah.
So if we're going to be a customer and we got young people, let's treat them to the best and let's help them along the way with the transaction.
Yeah,
right?
I always try to
Yeah.
be complimentary and also an inviting spirit of one of if you don't know that's fine. Let's go. Let's figure it out together. Let's
That's
learn
good.
together.
I love that. I love that.
Let's educate each other. And for the most part, you get people who are willing for that and have patience with you.
Trying, right?
Yeah, trying.
Yeah.
I'm with anybody who wants to try to be better at a job. I have patience with you. Even if you don't know, let's go figure it out. Let's go find somebody.
Because I think the stereotype, I walked into, I won't say what location, but I walked into a Jamba Juice recently, about a month ago. And one of the young men, pants was below the threshold.
Yeah.
Right?
Listen, that's how you know you're really old. There was one guy, I was in a gas station, and this guy had his pants so far behind his butt. And I'm like, number one, it's offensive. I don't want to see your ass, number one. Number two, and it took everything in me not to say anything. Because I wanted to say, hey, man, can you pull your pants up just a little bit? But I didn't want to be that guy. But I'm like, it was offensive.
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
I was
that guy. And I got checked.
You did what they say. What they say.
See, your circle is important.
Yeah.
My circle comes at me. They come for me hard. You know what I mean? And when they came for me, they told me, no, you don't. Don't do that. Don't judge that person.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're going through. You don't know how trained they are. You don't know who's at home. You don't even know nothing.
Yeah.
Did he give you good service? Was he polite? And the guy was phenomenal. He said, hey, how you doing, sir? Would you like a large? What would you do? You got a reward?
Oh, no, this was just another customer.
No, this was a guy behind the counter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But in my mind, I was thinking from a business perspective, and I was thinking from the old school.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking, like, how can you work at a place of business,
and
a popular business like Jamba Juice, and your pants are sagging like that?
Representing yourself and the business like that.
But it's okay because I wasn't, I had a level of understanding, right? I'm not in there to judge. I'm in there to get my leave. So let's reciprocate. He was great with me. I was great with him. Transaction done. It's not a teachable moment. I'm not the teacher. Yeah. I'm not there to teach that guy. I'm not there to try to school him. I'm not there to try to judge or anything. I'm there to buy a smoothie. I'm going to buy it like a great customer. He served me like an employee, and it's over.
I had a conversation with myself because I was in line and the guy was in line in front of me, and I was just like, I remember this culture when I was younger of the sagging of the pants, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like, should I say something? I mean, because to me, there's a level of ignorance and influence that this person obviously has, and then I was just like, you know what? This is not your fight. It's just let it go.
You're not in a position of authority.
I'm not in a position of authority.
Yeah.
I don't know how this person's going to receive me because I'm coming out of love of like, yo. You know what I'm saying? You should wear your pants up like a little bit.
No,
like
that's a relationship that you don't need, Don. No love there. Just keep it pushing.
Because
we got to understand people are different, right? Everybody has different ideologies, different ways, right? Different upbringings, and people are snapping because our mental health hasn't gone, untreated for so many years through therapy and things like that, right?
Yeah. Let's real quick when we get to your question when we come forward. We're on our way behind. It's more of this conversation. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
We may be LA's newest talk station, but when you're punching above your weight, it's not about whether you can throw a punch. Can you take a punch? We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. And we don't black down.
Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare for being KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week. Into your business today in the KBLA app or KBLA1580.com for the Office of the Week. Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
Let K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering bring you a world of flavors to your next event. For all occasions, book with K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering. Call 310-819-6213 or go to kmichellekitchencatering.com. Proud sponsor of the Office of the Week. Let K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering cater your next event. Book today at kmichellekitchencatering.com or on Instagram at kmichelles_kitchen catering or on Facebook at K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering. We look forward to cooking for you soon.
Where do holiday happenings take over every aisle? Lowe's, actually. Right now, you'll save big on everything you need for the holiday season. Get up to 50% off select pre-lit Christmas trees and holiday living LED string lights. Plus, save on your gift list with up to 50% off select tools and accessories. The holidays are here, and so are the savings. Only at Lowe's. Offers valid through 12/14. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you more of what you love, like premium travel benefits and access to Taylor Swift tickets. Oh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. Plus, get access to Taylor Swift The Eras Tour, presented by Capital One. Maybe I'll see you there. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
You got to in certain areas.
What was your question?
So no, it wasn't a question. I wanted to make a comment about what you were talking about, how people can snap. Did you hear the story of that young guy that snapped in Mount San Antonio College, who worked on the campus? Did you hear that story? He worked on the campus.
And he ran over
his coworker because if you read further details into his story, and I'm very upset the news didn't cover it, he was being bullied because of the way he looked. Young black guy, great employee, and he was being
ex-veteran too.
Yeah, exactly. And being judged based on the way that he looked, being teased. They weren't being fair with him, some of these older employees. And he got tired of it. And he complained to upper management. Management basically made excuses for all these other workers. So he snapped and ran over the other guy.
Okay.
And is in jail.
I saw that.
It's awful.
I saw that. And when the news first came on, it didn't give you the entire detail.
No, they did not.
And that's why, for the buy-in, right, to get viewership. We understand that.
If it bleeds, it leads.
So once again, I don't read into that.
Yeah.
Right? You wait till the facts come out. And once again, I'm not just waiting to hear some negativity in my life. But I viewed it because it was on TV. So at the end of the day, the ex-guy was a student and he was an employee simultaneously.
Yes.
And he had history there.
Good student.
Yes.
Everything was excellent. They just looked at him. And somebody told him, from what I read, don't dress like that. You look like a gangbanger. Why is your hair like that? Why are your pants like that?
But hold on.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped down early.
Right.
Didn't I?
Yes, you did.
And I said, do not perpetuate it to anything. People are people. I'm not your mom. I'm not your dad. I don't sign the front of the check. I'm not in line to judge you. I love you, brother, sister, whoever you are.
Right.
I'm there to get my smoothie and go home. Right?
Right.
You understand
Exactly. Yes, I do.
You don't know what people are going through. That guy snapped.
He snapped.
And now his life
is ruined.
He's ruined.
It's over.
Yeah, what I've reconciled is that I'm not your mother, your father, or are you asking me for advice? And I've learned to kind of keep unless I'm just really compelled to it, just to keep your opinion to yourself.
Please do.
You know what I'm saying? Unless someone is really coming out to see, because the issue is that when you're trying to give advice to someone, they're not going to receive it unless they really want it.
Yes.
And you trying to give advice to someone or your perspective on something, no matter where it's coming from, may be looked at as criticism, and some people can take constructive criticism, and some people cannot. And so you don't want to put yourself into a situation where somebody gets combative with you that you don't know, and then you kind of injure yourself through a self-inflicted wound when you can just shut the hell up.
And people are sensitive.
People are very sensitive.
Very sensitive.
Especially those who are, those who are saying or screaming, "Look at me," are the most sensitive, because there's a reason why they look the way that they look. It's out of ego, and there is something you can tell from a psychological standpoint deep down inside of them that they want some type of notification. They want some type of what was the word you used earlier? I think when you're noticing someone, when you're validation of that they're cool, or that they belong here, or that they got swag. You know what I'm saying? It's ego at the end of the day.
You got to deal with that, though,
and you
right?
got to learn how to deal with it. And through therapy, I've learned to recognize when I see that. And it's like, okay, unless it's just really affecting me in a negative way, I'm just going to stay out of it unless somebody really is asking me my opinion, because you just never know how people are going to take what you are trying to give them. Even if it's coming out of love, they may look at it as, who the hell are you?
You can't, but see, that's a problem, and that's where you have your road rage incidents, and that's when you have when people walk in front of you. Because remember, 70s, 80s, in some communities around the country, respect was high. Hospitality.
Yes.
Right?
I want to talk to you about Deion Sanders when we come forward. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
We don't try to be all things to all people. We just remain true to who we are. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. A web designer opposed to same-sex marriage may just win favor of the Supreme Court. Justices heard arguments involving a Colorado graphic designer who refuses to create wedding websites for same-sex couples because it's in conflict with her religious beliefs. Arizona is certifying its election results after a number of contentious races. Current Secretary of State Katie Hobbs, who's set to become the state's next governor, claimed powerful voices spread misinformation that threatened to disenfranchise voters in the state. Teenagers' brains are aging faster due to pandemic-related stress. A study published in Biological Psychiatry, Global Open Science, shows teens experienced high levels of depression, anxiety, and fearfulness than before the COVID pandemic. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Island from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Hollywood on the 101 southbound, you'll see stop-and-go traffic. Approaching Hollywood Boulevard, it stays busy until you get to Mission. And in Baldwin Park, 10 heading eastbound just before the 605. There's a crash blocking the left lane there, so you're seeing delays currently from about City Terrace Drive. And in Laverne on the 210 eastbound, that's just after Fruit Street. There's a crash in the center divider that's just adding to the slowing from Lone Hill Avenue.
Dell's Days of Deals start now with savings on select XPS laptops and Alienware PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors, plus savings on accessories and free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
In case you haven't noticed, the Lakers are the most improved team in the NBA. They were 2-10 on November 11th. Today, they are just 2 games under 500 after an 8-2 stretch, including a current 3-game winning streak. And Anthony Davis has been straight up balling. 99 points in the Lakers' last 2 games. In AD's last 9 games, he's averaging 35.3 points, 15.6 rebounds, 2.9 blocks, and shooting a spectacular 64%. Deion Sanders said he will coach Jackson State in the Celebration Bowl on December 17th in Atlanta. Jackson State will play MEAC champion North Carolina Central. After that, Deion will head to his new job at Colorado. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. This sports report was brought to you by MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to your settlement, we're a slam dunk. Call 833-MVP-WINS or check their website at themvp.com for a free case review.
If you're the victim of a car accident, call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review.
Call me your MVP.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley. As KBLA Talk 1580 host, we never quite know where the conversation is going to go. But sometimes our guests really surprise us.
Let me just close with saying I downloaded your app while we were talking. It's a terrific app. I look forward to it. I'm enjoying your format and what have you. I will tweet it to my several 100,000 followers and call their attention to it as well.
If the KBLA 1580 app is enticing enough for our guests to download and share, you should download the app and share with your friends too.
That's beautiful.
What you say? So, download the KBLA 1580 app today and take us with you wherever you go. KBLA Talk 1580.
You are now rocking with the best.
We got a lot to talk about.
DionRambo.com, that's me. I am Rambo, teaching you about contracts at the Westin Hotel, December 17th. That's coming up, December 17th. It's all free, sponsored by Linda Street. Listen, this is important. When you go to DionRambo.com, you'll see I have LA County coming, the mayor's office coming, the city coming, prime contractors coming, everyone, and they can only talk for 6 minutes each. I take contracting very serious. You should too. DionRambo.com. See you December 17th. DionRambo.com.
Did you know it pays to drive electric? With government rebates, you'll save thousands on the purchase of a new or used EV. And the more you drive, the more you'll save, both on fuel and maintenance far into the future. Start seeing savings today. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
At Cedars-Sinai, we're honored to be named the #1 hospital in California and the #2 hospital in the nation in U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals Honor Roll. We're also proud to be named #1 in 6 specialties in Los Angeles. Thank you to our physicians, nurses, academic leaders, and thousands of other team members who bring their best to Cedars-Sinai every day. Learn more about our top-ranked care at cedars-sinai.org.
KBLA Talk 1580 is pleased to announce a can't-miss community event.
It's a celebration.
Welcome home, Mayor-elect Karen Bass.
You gotta be kidding me.
On Saturday, December 10th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., join KBLA Talk 1580 in Leimert Park at the intersection of Leimert and Vernon for this free public event as we celebrate Mayor-elect Bass's historic victory. There'll be live performances from Brian McKnight, Guapale, Club Nouveau, and more. There'll be food trucks and a diverse array of vendors, along with the attendance and participation from community leaders, elected officials, celebrities, business owners, and other notables. KBLA Talk 1580 will host Mayor-elect Bass on the main stage at 11 a.m. as we reflect on the importance of this moment and what it means for the Black community, women, and all Angelinos who believe in the limitless potential of our amazing city. We look forward to celebrating with Mayor-elect Karen Bass and you, Saturday, December 10th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the intersection of Leimert and Vernon.
It's a celebration.
This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on, come on now.
We've got a lot to talk about. We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
All right, so you've been in sports, and I wanted to talk to you about this, get your reaction, because a lot of people are talking about this. Deion Sanders is going to be taking the job, the Colorado coaching job. Colorado hasn't won, I guess, a championship in a very long time. A lot of people are upset that Deion Sanders is leaving the HBCU, Jackson State. Has a great record, and I can see it from both ways. Why not leave while you're on top, 12-0?
Yeah.
You know, should Deion Sanders have stayed at Jackson State a little bit longer? And then I even saw one of the band leaders. Did you guys see that? The video of the band where they were like, we know your coach is leaving you, Jackson State. You got to find a new coach. They did this at a game.
Well, the thing is, at the end of the day, we all have an opinion.
We
right?
do.
And a lot of people have not sent their children to HBCUs. A lot of people are not familiar. HBCUs is a culture. It's a way of life. just like you got people going to Harvard and Penn and all these different institutions, you have 3-4 generations of people.
They're going to the Morehouse Spelman.
That go to Morehouse and Spelman.
Yeah, and Clark Atlanta.
So this is just more than football. You understand what I mean? So when everybody start getting the attention, and college game day going to Jackson State was just unbelievable. And now you got facilities being done, all of this stuff happening, but we forgot about the water.
We did forget about it. You know, the water was a story that stayed there, but nobody wanted to highlight. It wasn't like Flint. It wasn't like anything else. It was just like it was
swept under the rug a little bit.
Side note. It was just a little side note because Deion was the bigger story, but it was like, these people were sitting water there.
And he tried to get the mayor and governor involved in some other things, and we had this big hoopla. It was good to see a coach be a leader of men. Just to see how things were translating around there, it was surreal. I didn't follow him on social media. I didn't look at no video, but it was like I had to look at what Deion said today. Right?
You know what's so interesting? Because Deion was on vacation for the rest of his life for a second. I was just watching him just enjoying his life, and I'm like, who lit a fire to his butt to go get back into the game?
Exactly.
And I didn't know what the minute I saw him going to Jackson State and coach, and I was like, oh. He must be wanting to make his way back into the NFL because that's what this seems like. And I think we all knew he wasn't going to stay at this school for a very long time. That this was an entry to prove himself, to showcase his skills, to help some kids at the same time too. I think most people didn't think it was going to be this short of a stay.
Well,
this is 2 years.
Yeah, it was 3 years.
3 years. Okay.
So this is the thing. We have to understand that a large percentage of student athletes that play collegiate football are at that level are African American.
Yes.
Okay. The new institution where he's going has African American students and student athletes on campus. We need leaders of men at all of our institutions.
Okay.
Regardless if it's HBCU, regardless if it's Colorado, UCLA, USC. If we're going to have a man or woman lead anyone, they need to be the correct individuals, and they need to do it the right way for the right reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
He did a tremendous job at Jackson State, but it's his prerogative to leave, right? At the end of the day, right? But some people say, hey, he cashed a couple of checks he wrote a couple of checks that he didn't cash, such as, you guys may stay here, come to this school, don't go to the Power 5 schools, come to this school. Right?
Because that was a selling point. I'm here, we're going to win, we're going to do all this. And some kids actually may change their decision to come there, right?
Number one recruit in the country, Hunter, you got other Power 5 coaches that were probably disgruntled and didn't want to come to the media. But in their mind, they're thinking, how can a kid shun my $1 million program to go there? Something's going on. Remember, people were questioning Alabama and Nick Saban.
I remember that.
So that went under the rug quick.
And Nick was like, everybody's doing this.
Everybody,
we're just talking about it.
Because he didn't want to be the scapegoat or the fall guy. But at the end of the day, it was true. A number one player goes to Jackson State, people are thinking, what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Because that's not typical.
Do you think that it was something more than just going to go play for Deion Sanders? Because to me, I would think it would be great to go play for an individual who made it to the NFL, who operated at a high level elite, who is a superstar in the game of football, and now he's your coach. I think, to me, that there's a wealth of knowledge you can learn from him.
Okay, like we said earlier, Mastrals versus the place right down the street.
Right.
You're going because you want to go there. You like the food. You like the surface, right?
Right.
Just because you're a man or a woman and you have this certain background doesn't mean, we talked about projections earlier, right?
Yeah.
Just because you're projected to do something, that's like saying, okay, you live over here, you're supposed to eat there, you're supposed to wear that. Let's get out of that, right?
Okay.
This kid chose to go play for Deion Sanders at Jackson State. It's over. He's going to Colorado. If the kid is going to follow him. If he doesn't, he doesn't. He left. People are upset because the other day he told the kids, hey, you guys don't transfer from here. Stay at Jackson State. Then you get to the new institution, whoever doesn't want to be here, no hats, no hoodies, no earrings, y'all need to leave. So they're like, wait a minute. So if I'm a parent at the new school, I'm like, wait a minute. You're telling our kids to leave in a public meeting where you have your cameras.
It's a little bit hypocritical, too.
And then the other campus, you're like, stay here. But guess what? I've been in collegiate athletics as a player and as a coach. And I'm going to be honest with you. We all have opinions, okay? We're not on the inside. We're not a part of that program, right? It's our rhetoric that is making it uncomfortable and making it dysfunctional and creating more discord. in order to create unity, we need to stay in our lane.
Yeah.
We don't have no skin in the game. We don't have a son or daughter
At
or
Jackson
anybody
State,
else
yeah,
or
that's
Jackson
true.
State. Or
Yeah.
I have an ex-employee that's at Jackson State, right? So I got a little skin in the game.
Okay.
But we don't have any skin in the game at either institution, but we want to post things. And we want to create negative discord that's going to upset the whole situation worse than what it is, right? What we need to do is support Jackson State, and hopefully they make a good hire to have somebody else.
That come in
because
and-
you can't put the burden of an entire HBCU network
On
on one
Deion
man's
Sanders,
shoulders,
yeah.
right? Like they have a nice locker room now. They have a blueprint, but at the same time, you got to watch what you say. And these promises, but at the same time, I understand coaching, and I understand motivating. Right? Some people may take that verbatim, like he should say there because he said this.
Yeah.
Coaching is different. It's an ongoing daily thing where things change.
Gotcha.
And you may say something one day, and the next day it totally changes. Right? Like I call it changing the play of life. He changed the play. Move on. I think he's going to win. I think he's going to do well. I think he's going to convince a lot of kids to go to Colorado, from Los Angeles, Texas, Florida, wherever. Let's wish him well, and let's wish the new coach at Jackson State well, and hopefully both institutions thrive. But let's get these young men graduated.
Well,
right?
let me ask you, why do you think he went to Colorado? I mean, was that...
unfortunately, a lot of
Or
coaches.
is he looking for, like, the worst teams to turn him around?
Well, let's just be honest. That's the job that he was offered. Auburn was open. They didn't offer him the job, evidently.
Oh.
There hasn't been that many African-American or minority SEC coaches in history.
Well, that's another thing also that I think and this is just me quarterbacking this from the sidelines, that Deion is a game changer. That's his whole persona throughout his career. Prime time, I'm the guy. And that's the way he carries. That's the messaging. That's the brand. And he went into Jackson State and turned it around, and 12-0 season.
But why? Not just off wins, because he let us in his world.
Yes.
He had his own camera and crew,
Yeah, he
and
did.
showed us the blueprint on how I'm doing it. Not only did he speak about it, but he was about it.
He brought Brittany Renner in to talk to the kids.
Yeah.
It was so much more. Even when things were happening in Houston, I think when they were going down, when takeoff was happening,
Yeah,
he was like, I know you got your girls coming down
That was
there.
phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
And he was on point, right?
Very on point.
Very on point.
Listen, we don't go no self-inflicted wounds.
No. So he let us in, but some people are saying the cameras shouldn't have been rolling at the new institution when you're telling these guys you don't have a rapport with, you don't know them, that you guys, if you don't do this, I'm bringing in 10 dogs. I'm bringing in my luggage, and they're Louis Vuitton. If you don't want it, be here. If you're not going to do this, leave. Some people felt that camera should have been off at that point because this is a new family. Let's keep it in-house. Let me build my rapport up. And then some people are like, wait a minute, that wouldn't be him.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Stay true to who you are.
That's
camera stays rolling.
That's who
right?
That's who
That's
Deion.
why I got this job.
That's
why
Deion Sanders.
That's why guys want to play for
And
him.
he hasn't wavered throughout his whole entire career on who he is. That's who he is. I'm prime time. And so this is what it is. Cameras or not, you won't get the same individual.
Exactly.
So
Consistency.
Consistency. That is. Do you think that this is a long-term play to get into the NFL as a head coach?
You know what? I think based on what you hear from Deion, he's a man of God. He's a man of faith. And I actually believe that he's going to go where God leads him. But in all actuality, Jackson State took a chance on him and gave him an opportunity. Colorado's giving him an opportunity. If he wins at Colorado, trust me, he's going to get another opportunity. And the higher echelon of coaches, SEC, averages 8 to 10 million.
Oh, wow.
He's getting 5 to going rate at those higher institutions of 3, 4, 5 million anyway, right? So right now I think he's the 5th highest paid returning coach in the Pac-12, and some coaches are like, wait a minute, this guy's only been coaching 3 years. I don't care who he is. I'll put the time in, and I'm not making that. So you can't please everybody.
Yeah.
It's always
But
gonna
it's
be a fight,
not like
man.
he's just coming off out of high school football. This is an NFL career player.
They don't care. They don't think you've done the homework. They
homework. His whole life has been nothing but football.
But
Coaching.
They probably feel it's a lower level. It's not Power 5. So they don't respect it, right? So that's their opinion. And I'm not going to give those people the platform and say who they are to promote discord.
Well, I want to find out
Right.
who's ever taking bets on Deion Sanders making it into the NFL. I want to place a wager right now.
That might be a good wager.
Because I think that's definitely going to pay off. I think within the next decade, I'm going to say within the next 5 years, I think we're going to see Deion Sanders in the NFL.
But can he have the same impact on grown men that make more money than him? That's the issue, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we got to be obedient and listen to God and listen to where He put us, or whatever faith we have.
Well, I think
be obedient. He may not go there.
Well, I think what we're watching here is a story. And I think that as long as that's, and one thing Deion knows is media attention, and that and staying in the media, and then I think that he has consistently garnered media attention when he was out of football and when he went back to Jackson State. And I think he'll continue to garner media attention when he gets to Colorado. And I think he is building a story of success and win behind him, that when he does make it into the NFL, you're going to want to play for him and you're going to want to get behind him because that's his history. And regardless of, you did it at the bottom of the schools, every school I go to, I'm turning it around and we're winning championships.
Because of culture, right?
Because of the culture. Because of the culture, because I know what I'm talking about, because you believing in me, I'm believing in you, and I'm putting the right team together. It's not...
And transparency.
And transparency at the same time, too. It's not do as I say, not as I do. And I think that story, if you make it into the NFL, and if that's the trajectory that he stays on, I think anybody would want to play for him.
And he's not sugarcoating stuff. Remember, it was a theft in his vehicle where some speakers were stolen.
Well, it was, or the wallet. The wallet was misplaced. It was misplaced.
Or something was missing or whatever. He went on social media and said, "Come on, people of Jackson, I need my wallet, baby." With a smile. Remember I told you that it's negative is how you react
back to
the action.
Absolutely.
That's why I say let's be cheerful, let's smile. But see, he was acting in faith.
Yeah.
And he's always smiling. And when he has to talk about a negative topic, you don't feel that negative energy.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Yeah. All right, more of this conversation when we come forward. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
3 Bay Area counties have black women chief prosecutors. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. Civil rights attorney Pamela Price made history when she was elected Alameda County's first African-American district attorney. Price joins 2 other black women, Contra Costa County DA Diana Becton and San Francisco DA Brooke Jenkins, holding the same office in their Bay Area counties. Price is the 5th black woman to be elected district attorney in California. Former DAs on the list are Vice President Kamala Harris, who was San Francisco's DA from 2004 to 2010, and Jackie Lacey, who was Los Angeles County's DA for 2 terms from 2012 to 2020. KBLA listeners, what are your thoughts on these offices being held by black women? Let us know on all social media platforms at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
The Institute for Diversity Certification is all about the 3 Ds: dedication, determination, and discipline. Learn more about our globally recognized diversity certification program today by calling 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192, or visit diversitycertification.org. As the #1 organization for certified diversity professionals and also certified diversity executive credentials, diversitycertification.org will provide an opportunity for you to demonstrate dedication to the field, determination to make progress, and more discipline to your process. Go today and learn more about the diversity certification system. Call 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192. Or go to diversitycertification.org. That's diversitycertification.org. The standard of excellence, equity, diversity, and inclusion.
Man, I slept.
New ZzzQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep is made for people who are tired of being tired.
I've never slept like this before. I've never woken up like this before.
A melatonin-free sleep aid made with a botanical blend that contains clinically studied and effective valerian root, hops, and passion flower, shown to help promote better restorative sleep. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep. Sleep this good, feel this good. Available at retailers near you.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
All right, community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. We want you to become a vendor for our Welcome Home Mayor-elect Karen Bass event in historic Leimert Park. So this is going to be great. A lot of people are going to be out and about as we welcome Mayor-elect Karen Bass. Historic event, Leimert Park, Saturday, December 10th. We want you to email us, info@smileyAudiomedia.com. Info@smileyAudiomedia.com. We're going to get you all the details that you need. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com for all the info you need on how to join us as a vendor for our Welcome Home Mayor-elect Karen Bass event, Saturday, December 10th in Leimert Park. We're going to have Club Nouveau. We're going to have Brian McKnight. We're going to have Guapale. Danny Morrison, Robin Ayers is going to be hosting the stage. Andy, you going to be doing anything out there? No, you'll be whatever needs to be done is you going to be doing it. So definitely all that and stuff. Man, this has been an amazing conversation, Daniel. Just to sit back and pick your brain. I'm so happy that you can be sitting with us all week long. Because one of the great things about people coming into to sit in with us throughout the week since Kiara left was the different perspectives that keep coming and sitting in this chair. Mm-hmm. And we've had, different walks, female, male, and everybody has a different perspective. Mm-hmm. We're not a monolith when it comes to our personalities and our opinions and even our upbringing to a certain extent. We are relatable to certain things. But your perspective, what you've gone through, as this little young man I'll play for you tomorrow, the treasure inside of you that you can give to other people is a wealth of knowledge on how you, kind of navigated life. We are throwing obstacles in our face, you being, in foster care for a little bit and Compton and kind of coming up out of that, making it into an educator and playing ball and all this other stuff. That is a lot of value that I believe our audience could hear and learn from. And even, opening a Wingstop, going into business. I mean, it's just a wealth of knowledge that we don't necessarily have being taught to us at a very young age when we're in school. Mm-hmm. And some of our educators, some of our elders want to change how we educate our young kids. But, our necessities on how to fish for ourselves, how to carry ourselves, even the tipping situation, what I'm saying? Like, that's something I had to learn. I didn't learn that until I was in my 20s. Now maybe I wasn't going to restaurants where you tipped. I was so used to going to small places, what I'm saying? But it's a wealth of knowledge just to hear your perspective and your game that you're kicking down to a lot of people, which I appreciate at that. So I'm glad that you're going to be in here all week long with us, and this is going to be a very fun conversation. Coming up at the top of the hour, his name, Zoe Williams. He is the voice of reason. Tonight's hot topic alert before we get out of here. Are you ready? The Passport Bros. He's going to be talking about the Passport Bros. Are black men opting out of our collective trauma by seeking a wife from other countries? You've seen the guys on Facebook or Instagram that head down to the Dominican Republic and say, hey, you want a woman that's going to take care of you? Go down and get down to the Dominican Republic, get down to Brazil. These women are all too eager to take your place of American women. Do Brazilian women prefer American black men over their own men? That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I mean, first you got to learn Portuguese, but I don't know. Do women from other countries treat black men better than African-American sisters? I want to say yes.
I've heard.
I want to say yes. I want to say that they are taught at a very young age to take care of Papi. Mm-hmm. Me and Papi will take care of you. You take care of Papi. Mm-hmm. Do South American and Asian women love being with black men? I think every woman loves being with black men.
I agree.
Yes. And are black women treated better by non-black men, or do black men treat sisters better than every other race of men? Or are black women treated better by non-black men, or do black men treat sisters better than every other race? I don't know. I think non-black men may put up with a sister's attitude.
Well, I think that they do.
A lot more so than a
do.
black man
Yes.
might. I hear the congregation in the background.
And there's some non-black.
I do not own the right to this conversation. I have a disclaimer.
There's some non-black men that actually feed off of the aggression that black women can give. It's like they like it. Some white men enjoy it.
I think to tame a black woman's aggression, as you just said, takes a certain type of black man.
Ooh, I gotta say something to that.
Real quick.
Yeah, we don't want to stereotype our sisters.
No, we don't.
Okay, good. I gotta protect them.
No, I'm not blanketing all black women.
No.
Good, thank you, Jake. Thank you, so I can go home. So I can get out of here.
And why do people act like black men not liking black women means black women are the most undesirable? Shouldn't it reveal more about the man? Ooh, that is a very interesting question. Hey, last week we had Inglewood mayoral candidate Fredericia Shea Dixon on the air with us as a guest. Now, Ms. Dixon opined that she served Mayor James G. Butts Jr. with a temporary restraining order for stalking. In documentation provided to KBLA Talk 1580, the mayor's legal counsel has vehemently denied those and, quote, false and defamatory statements, close quote. As your trusted, incredible, and reliable talk station, we're compelled to share this development with you. A court hearing on this matter is going to be set forth for January 12th. All right, we're going to be here tomorrow. Don't forget, more information if you want to be part of Mayor Karen-elect's Bass historic event as we welcome her into office. Info at SmileyAudiomedia.com. Info at SmileyAudiomedia.com. We are Don Amiche versus everybody with Krista and Daniel this week, and we're going to have a lot of great conversations Monday through Friday from 4 to 7 on your KBLA Talk 1580. Bye.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Emmy Award-winning actress Kirstie Alley is dead after a short battle with cancer. Her family made the announcement on Monday, saying she was surrounded by her closest family and fought with great strength. Alley is best known for her role in the popular 80s and 90s sitcom Cheers. She was 71 years old. The COVID-19 vaccine mandate for military service members will remain. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said President Biden is in agreement with the Defense Secretary that the mandate should stay in place. Republican lawmakers have threatened to delay passage of the annual defense authorization bill if the mandate, which was put in place last year, is not rescinded. The FBI is helping to investigate a massive power outage in North Carolina, believed to have been caused by a targeted attack. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Island from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Traveling into Toluca Lake on the 134 westbound